Hey guys, it's Nick. I just want to hop on before the episode and I want to give my heartfelt apologies and condolences to everybody in the Los Angeles area. It is truly devastating to see what is happening right now with the wildfires. We hope everybody is staying safe and is trying their best to recoup from this terrible situation. Gunk and I just want to send our condolences and our thoughts and prayers to everybody in the area as they deal with this, and we hope that it all gets better soon. But with that, we move on to the episode. We hope you enjoy. Stay tuned.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode and another week of the What the Fuck podcast. I'm Nick down there suffering, and that's Gunk up there doing pretty good.
Pretty
Gunk,
good.
we're back for another week. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. We're having a good day. I said, just woke up. Let's get started.
Let's get
Thinking
started.
about some hockey. We got some Rangers Devils tonight. I'm excited.
I'm not.
I'm sure you're not. But again, I feel like the Rangers have been playing pretty decently lately. I mean, not terribly, during like the December run, but they're starting to pull it around a little bit.
They
And
can't
a
get
lot
out of their
rumors.
own way though, and the consistency is the issue. You should have won the other night, even if you won in overtime. You should have
Right.
beaten Dallas. You were the best.
Absolutely.
Sure, they outshot you. You outplayed them. You outplayed one of the top teams in the league for a solid swath of that game. And you still can't get it done? You were up 3-0. That should be it for most hockey teams. If the Devils
Absolutely.
were playing the Stars and went up 3-0 on home ice, they'd wrap it up and it'd be a 3-0 game. Maybe 3-1.
Maybe 3-1.
But the good hockey teams wrap up these games. The good hockey teams wrap up these wins. You're lucky you got a point. And it all goes back to the same fucking name that I keep mentioning. The guy that dyed his hair to look like fucking Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, boy.
Him again and again
A walking
and
pylon.
again and again. I sound like Herb Brooks. I sound like fucking Herbie.
Again.
You got a power play goal to take the lead after blowing a 3-0 lead. All the stars aligned for you. The planets aligned for you. And you get nothing. You get that. And all you needed to do as Keandre Miller, and looking back, sure, I'm not a professional hockey player. I'm not on the ice with them. I've never played in an NHL game. I know less of what I'm doing than he does. But I could still see in real time that you did not need to throw the puck across the middle of the ice. Do not throw the puck across the slot to somebody that also shouldn't be out there with you. Rangers fans have been dogging on Lindgren a bit too much. He's been fine enough. But you know what? When both yous are out there together, something's wrong. You got both guys out there. Something's wrong. Miller throws the puck across the slot without any chance of it ever getting to a Rangers player. Like, you're lucky if it got to the boards and it never even got there. It got maybe 5 feet, maybe 3 feet if I want a yard. If I want to be cute with it.
A yard.
But like,
Should have tush pushed it.
yeah, oh my god. Wrong kind of tush push because you should be in prison after that play. But yeah, it's embarrassing. Cause I think I'd pay all the money that I've ever owned and possessed to get 2 straight wins. I just want to see I want to see this team win a game and then win another.
I understand.
Like,
Trust me.
win, loss. Sure, you're going to end up 41-41. You've lost twice in overtime. So you're going to end, 40-2 now? Cool. If you went 500, that's still nothing. 40 points, 40 wins is 80 points plus 2 is 2. 82. Look at that. Quick math. I'm better at math than the Rangers are at hockey. So this is just, it's starting to get ridiculous. And like, you're seeing it more on the ice. The fourth goal to tie the game. Trocheck is standing in between the face-off dots, bouncing up and down, screaming. Because of what? The fact that you weren't in position and ready to play hockey, you got caught flat-footed again, and again, and again, and again. You are all the problem. But that's what leads me into this. I have a quote from an article. I'll give him proper credit. Frederico O'Donnell from Bolavip.com wrote an article talking about what Adam Fox had said the other day after the Dallas game, and starts off by saying it's frustrating, and he said this via lowhud.com. I think we have been playing a lot better hockey, but at the end you got to get 2 points out of it. One is better than 0, but it definitely should have been 2 points tonight. And then Absolutely. He continues, it's 5 guys just maybe a little off. Whether it's one guy thinking about where another guy is going to, I think lack of communication is a big thing there. I think we obviously want to create chances, but at the same time, you don't want it to come back the other way right at you with 4-on-3s, 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s. Fine. What? Sure. It's a nothing burger of a quote here, Gunk. I think lack of communication is a big thing there. Lack of communication. You've been playing with these guys for 5 fucking years.
Exactly.
This isn't some new guy. The only person that I could see getting any kind of benefit of the doubt with lack of communication is Will Borgen. But even then, that's a professional National Hockey League player. You should know how to communicate with the guys on the ice. Lack of communication, lack of heart, lack of grit, lack of determination, lack of willing to want to make plays better. Defensemen are pinching into the zone. Defensemen should not be near the trapezoid. There are certain defensemen that can do it, and they've won Norris trophies. Ryan Lindgren Absolutely. Is not one of those guys that can do it. You are not Cale Makar. You are not 2022 Adam Fox, because Fox can't even do it anymore. He's not allowed. You're tied up to the blue line like fucking Millhouse. I don't care. Right. Like, it's lack of communication. Communicate to yourselves that you fucking suck. There's your communication. Communicate that you don't know how to fucking play proper hockey and that you can't string together multiple fucking wins and then wonder why the team's getting blown up after your fucking captain got traded from the President's Trophy reigning New York Rangers to the Anaheim Ducks, who are somehow higher in the standings. And that's the Ducks. That's the fuck. You
can hear it in your voice.
Because you went from Goldberg to Trouba and now you're a better team. This is bullshit.
I understand. And this was the point I was talking about maybe like 2 weeks ago when we had the conversation. Maybe it was the last week after the first of the year when we talked about that Rangers Devils game, the Monday afternoon before Christmas. And I told you that when I watched the Rangers play in that game, even though they were down like big already in the game, they just looked like they like you were just explaining, no communication. They looked like they didn't want to be there anymore. And I feel like it's from these quotes and all this is still a problem. So where are we gonna fix it? Is it the players? Well, it sounds like it's the players. You know, if they're not communicating on the ice, it's not working.
But
is it coaching? Because if the coaches are not communicating with the players, how do they know what's going on? And I mean, like I said, it's a lack of. It seems like it's just a lack of everything right now for the Rangers, and it's falling apart. And they're trying to find some easy 1, 2, 3 fix for this, and apparently this is not.
But every time you think you're getting close to getting a fix, the schedule just comes by and says, you know what? Here's this game against the top team. Here's this game. Going into Christmas, the Rangers played Dallas, Carolina, the Devils.
Right.
Top. I understand the schedule don't wait for nobody. The schedule holds, like, doesn't pull no punches. But I mean, at a certain point, there's also a bit against the team in and of itself for trying to get back into it, because they have to look at the schedule and go, God, we have to play Dallas. Then we have to play Carolina. And then we have to meet the Devils. And it's unsustainable to try to continue with that because even look at this. Look at this. The schedule as it goes. The next 3 games. The Devils tonight, the Golden Knights on Saturday, they're top in the league, and the Avalanche. And the Avalanche. That have one of those defensemen that are allowed to pinch into plays like I mentioned.
And even going to the next Thursday, don't crap on Utah. Utah's been playing really well recently.
So and then you got Columbus, who's been playing lights out. Good for them. And then you got Montreal, who's in a playoff spot. And then you have Ottawa, who's also playing fantastic.
Columbus is right now in that spot now. They're basically tied. Them and Montreal are tied with 42 points right now for the second playoff spot. And you guys are how many? What 6, 7 already away?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we're 6 points out.
It's turned into a lost season because again.
Oh, the season's lost already. I lost the season to Thanksgiving.
You can't even like. It's one of those like. When you first started this season, it was like, all right, we could bank on winning against this team, this team, this team. You can't do that right now.
No.
The way the team is
how do you go from 12-4 to not even being able to win any games, barely winning any games in your last 12? I think you've won 3 in your last 12, and even then, that's worse than the record that you started the season with.
And that was against apparently a terrible Boston team now, and one against the Blackhawks, who were really terrible. So, the 2 wins you got, especially just this month, are, I mean, what can you say? Are they quality wins? I mean,
the game against the Bruins was fantastic. I mean, that was a great rebound from losing in Florida. I mean, that was a good way to go. And then you think you're getting close. You think. Oh, baby, don't I love to think. Oh, baby, it just riles me up to think. Oh, you get so close. You get so close. You get a morsel of success. And you can't get out of your own fucking way. I was watching the game against Washington.
Oh.
I was sitting there with everybody. And it's the 3rd period. And all I say is, they can't seem to get out of their own fucking way. And I turn to the television, I point, and I just go, say it. And Ferraro goes, the Rangers just can't seem to get out of their own way. And I got up, walked away, and said, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Ridiculous.
We gotta love our MSG people. We know exactly what they're gonna say at the exact point every game.
It wasn't even MSG. It was ABC. It was a national broadcast.
It was a national game. Okay.
Yeah, the game was at like 12. It was a national broadcast on ABC.
I don't know how many times this week I had to go through. We got to get the next goal, and we're sitting here like we're gonna play a drinking game. Just who's gonna get the next goal? Take a drink. Bam. So I understand where you're coming from, where you just know what's going on. It's so weird.
Like I said it the other day to my boss because we were talking about the Rangers, and he doesn't even like hockey. I force him to talk to me about this. I feel like Bane. Like, newer Rangers fans were adopted into this. I was born into that. I feel like fucking Bane, Gunk.
The long road.
Yeah, like I'm... Like,
you are
fuck hockey. I'm a wrestling fan again, man. Raw's on Netflix. Hey, Raw was fantastic, and now here we are.
Except for my boy getting booed. I mean, hey, but what are you gonna do? He's old and he's a fucking racist, so whatever.
But he's got that real American beer, Gunk.
He's got that real American beer.
Real American beer.
Nah, it was. You know what it was. It was Jimmy Hart's fault. Everybody was booing Jimmy because everybody hates Jimmy.
They're booing Jimmy Hart. They're booing the mouth of the South, but they should be booing. They should be booing the Rangers and the NHL for giving them another outdoor game. Let's talk about this now. It was announced yesterday that Florida is getting 2 outdoor games, almost a month apart from each other, on January 2nd at Lone Depot Park, home of the Miami Marlins. The New York Rangers are heading out to Florida to take on their Eastern Conference final opponents from last year. Oh, how long ago that feels. The Florida Panthers, I just want a good jersey. I don't care about the game. I don't care about the team. I just want a good jersey, man.
Like I said, when you text me that yesterday, Instagram to me, and I saw it. The only thing I thought of was, yeah, money grab,
Yeah.
money
Oh
grab,
yeah,
money
because this
grab.
one sucked. The past one sucked.
It
We
it
didn't
was
even talk about it
all I
last
heard,
week.
all I saw was cha-ching. The NHL just wanted to ching on this.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Florida, you got the Rangers again, New York team. A lot of retired people in Florida. They will go see the game because they were Rangers fans when they lived in this area. So I mean, again, NHL. What are you going to do? Who? I mean, really, who are you going to put there? I mean,
I mean, you could
I
just
mean,
you could do what
you could do
you
it. I
could do
mean,
something cool. I mean, you could do an outdoor series home and home with the other team that got an outdoor game against
you
a
could do that
team
too.
that's
That'd be
just
pretty.
like all right, like let's see who's really good in the Battle of Florida. Like
Yeah,
the
I
Winter
can
Classic
understand
is
that.
going to be the Rangers and Panthers, and then a month later on February 1st from Raymond James Stadium, it's going to be the Lightning and Bruins. Like you could do Winter Classic at home for Florida for the Panthers,
Yep.
and then do another outdoor game at Raymond James for Tampa and the Panthers. Like you could do that. You could do a home and home game. That's cool. Like even
Or
if it's
even
a
if
month
I was
apart.
when I saw the games, I would have, for me personally, being I'm gonna go down the middle in this one. I would have flipped the games. I would have put the Rangers in Tampa and Florida
Yeah, but then
and
that
Boston
that
together.
kind of forces Tampa into the Winter Classic because the Rangers just had the Stadium Series last year.
Okay.
So
So yeah, like I said, yeah, I don't know if
but
there's
even
rules
then,
or
I'm not
anything.
sure why you would give them another outdoor game. I feel like there's better draws. Like yeah, it's the
Yeah, like
Rangers, sure, but I mean, I would watch, I would watch like, I would watch Florida, Tampa, Florida. Give the Devils a Winter Classic. Like
I would take
Like
one.
even if
I
it's
would take
Devils
one.
Islanders, that's fine. That's cool. Like Devils.
I would have
You
taken the
just did
Rangers
Devils
spot. That would
Flyers.
have been. I mean, even if you throw in a Devils Florida game, that would have been fantastic
Yeah.
for next
Or
year. I mean,
give them a Canadian team. Right now, you could do the Devils and Leafs, and that is a fantastic Winter Classic.
oh, absolutely,
That is
yeah.
such a good Winter Classic because you could do
Good
it.
Winter Classic.
You
A
could
lot of
do it somewhere
storylines.
cool,
Really
like
good.
Rutgers. You
Mm,
could go to Rutgers and place
that'd be a
all
great
your
one.
National Hockey League bets at Rutgers.
You know what? That actually, if you went, I mean, we just did the Stadium Series, but a Devils Flyers game at Rutgers actually would be really good.
Yeah.
Just figuring the distance between the two are basically almost the same. It's almost halfway through. It's halfway from both points.
Yeah.
So actually, that would be actually a really good idea. And the Piscataway, campus is really nice.
There you go.
The stadium's really nice there.
Because like you're getting to a point now with Winter Classics. Where are you going to do them? You've done
Right.
Wrigley twice. I'm pretty sure you've done Fenway twice. You've
Yeah.
had multiple games at Yankee Stadium, multiple games at MetLife. You've only done one at Citi Field, and this is just the New York area.
Right.
You've done the Big House. You're getting ready to do Ohio State. You've done Dodger Stadium.
They're going
What
to
else
Florida
is
now.
yeah? So
Yeah,
now you've
they're doing the Florida thing.
now you've taken off two. What's next? You're gonna do SoFi? Ooh. Have fun putting two more California teams in there that nobody's gonna want to watch because all the California teams suck.
Except for the Kings. The Kings have been pretty okay. I
Oh
mean,
well,
that's
the Kings. I want to say thank you to the Kings for Arthur Kaliev real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Waiver claim by the Rangers.
Waiver
I didn't
claim, yeah.
realize that he's fucking hurt. So
Oh,
we got him,
yeah, I did-
and he's not even fucking playing. There's not even a timeline for his return. So he's just sitting there like, cool, we gotcha, but you're not
Yep.
doing anything for us right now. Like, what is it? Oh, hopefully the Rangers can make a playoff push till we get Arthur Kaliev back. Fuck you. Outta
Again,
here.
when I saw the name pop up, I read his stats. I was like, oh, you know what? That might be a nice pickup for the Devils too, just because with Hala, with his ankle hurt for the next couple weeks, he'd be a nice little replacement to throw in there. But Rangers pick him up. I was like, oh, good for them. And then I realized, oh my God, he's hurt. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
good, they can have him.
Yeah, he's
Enjoy,
alright. Of course he is.
enjoy, rehab him up. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's thanks to the Kings for that. But with the going back to the Winter Classic, I mean, you're running out of spots to do it. And you're really running
No.
out of matchups that you can do. You can only do so much between 32 teams.
Right.
And I don't want this to I don't want that to come as across as we need expansion, like to get more Winter Classic matchups and more spots. No. Put
No.
on entertaining games in places that matter. You could, if you wanted to do more New York outdoor games, you have the spots. You could do Rockefeller Center if you wanted to. That's different and cool. You can make that
That would
into
be
NHL
cool.
ice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Freeze the fucking Hudson. I don't care. Do whatever you gotta do. I figure it out. Do something different.
No, I agree.
The Winter Classic is the same thing every year. Two teams that have no real correlation to each other, to the point to where the Stadium Series feels like the bigger draw.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
like, can we remember anything from the Winter Classic last year besides the Coco Cup?
The Coco Cup. That was it.
And I'm not talking like Seattle and Vegas. Like the Coco Cup was the most
core.
memorable part of that game.
That was the Decor breakout game for me. That's Joey Decor's breakout game last year. That's where I kind of got him on the radar of, oh, he's actually pretty good 10 out there, So that was the main thing I got from last year's game was Joey Decor coming on the scene, basically.
Well, Seattle won that game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the score?
No, they did win it. Yeah, they did win that game. Yes.
Do you remember the score though?
I will throw it. Let me just look it up right here real quick. I'll be right there. Throw that.
Because then you having to look up the score for this game is going to translate into my other question. And you're going to see how much more memorable the Stadium Series is over the Winter Classic.
Give us 2 seconds. Yes, Seattle won shutout 3-0.
Exactly. What was the score of the Devils Flyers game from the Stadium Series?
Oh God, what was it? 6-3, I think.
6-4.
6-3, 6-4. Okay,
6-4.
I knew it was in the 6 range. Yeah, I knew it was in the 6 range.
You can remember the Ranger game. All fans can remember the Rangers Islanders game. That was one of the best Stadium Series you've ever watched. That was 6-5.
I
can remember that one off the top of my dome. Couldn't remember. I can't remember. I can't tell you the last 3, 4, 5 Winter Classic winners.
It was 6-5 in overtime. That game.
Yeah,
that was the overtime game.
Yep. It was the Islander. It was the Islanders' blown lead game. They blew their lead. Yep. They blew their lead, and the Rangers won in overtime off that weird goal by Panarin because Dobson knocked the net off.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was the one where they didn't count it at first, and then they count it, and then everyone started flipping out. I remember that now. Yeah.
So we can remember those games. We can remember those 2 games because the Devils had a fantastic a barn burner against Philly, back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. Great game that was, and we were there live. And we had a fantastic time. It was a great game. The atmosphere was fantastic for that game. It was unbelievable. One of the best NHL games I've ever been to. It really was.
But nobody can remember the Winter Classic. They remember the most recent one because it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
It was a terrible game. Terrible game.
And why? I think they shot themselves in the foot with this because you wanted Connor Bedard into a Winter Classic so bad, but you put the worst team in the NHL out there against such an okay team in St. Louis. Like the most middle of the road, just getting over the hump team in St. Louis, and the worst team in the Blackhawks. You set yourself up for failure to the fact that the Stadium Series is going to be a better game between Detroit and Columbus on March 1st.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Better arena, a better stadium,
better venue,
better draw, better teams.
Better teams.
I want to see Columbus play because I think they have a chance to actually win. Detroit is Detroit.
I mean, it's not the two best teams, but it's going to be a competitive
It's
game at
better
least.
teams. It's
It's
better
going to be a
teams,
better
and you know what?
competitive game.
You get the you get. I'll give you the break on the Stadium Series. It's for Johnny.
Of course, yes.
So that is what is most exciting about it. But at a point, you've worn out the luster of an outdoor game.
No, I could agree with you there. It is getting a little lackluster, especially say like you talking about like the matchups and stuff. There again, I'm feeling Winter Classic is more of a money grab, where Stadium Series is more for the fans. I think. If you look at it, that's the way it seems like it's coming off as.
When was the last time we saw a Heritage Classic?
Oh, fact, I don't even remember. God, that was years ago. Because wasn't the one at Yankee Stadium considered a Heritage Classic game, or was that a
No,
Stadium Series game?
that was the Stadium Series.
That was a Stadium Series game. Okay.
Right.
That was the Yankee Devils Rangers game from it was like what was like 10, 12 years ago now. Because Brodeur was still in the freaking playing.
Yeah. So the last time the NHL had a Heritage Classic was January 1st, 2023, between the Oilers and the Flames.
And did you even hear about that? I didn't even know about it.
I remember this game solely because of their jerseys, and that's it. I don't remember anything else about the game.
I don't even remember. Like, I don't even remember being marketed to us. And I follow it all the time. Like, it's not even like we don't follow it. Like, no, we follow this stuff, and I couldn't even remember that.
Yeah, it was. To try to jog your memory a little bit, if you remember the jerseys, it had that big oil drop with the banner that said Edmonton Oilers around it.
Yes, they played Calgary, right?
Yeah, and Calgary had a beautiful jersey for that. But yeah, you can't remember the last time the Rangers. Here we go, because they're in so many outdoor games. The NHL did a Heritage Classic. Like it was 2 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was in place of the Winter Classic that year.
Okay.
Because I don't think there was a 2023 Winter Classic. I think they just made it that.
Ooh,
no, there was a Winter Classic that year. Try to tell me who was in it.
I was literally just about to look it up. Let's see, what, 23?
2023 NHL Winter Classic.
Oh, that was the Fenway Park game.
Yeah.
Okay. I totally didn't remember that one bit.
I can remember the jerseys because Pittsburgh had that really gross, like grayish white, like it was like kind of like a cream with the big P on it.
Yeah, it looked like almost like a Pirates jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it. I got a picture of it up now. It looks like yellow helmets with like Pittsburgh Pirate. Like literally, it looks like a Pirates jersey.
Kasperi Kapanen scored an actual National Hockey League goal in this game, in this Winter Classic. Nobody can remember this. Like, wow.
Like I said,
that was a 2-goal Jake DeBrusk game, and it's you can't you don't notice anything about it.
No, you really don't.
So it's just like, all right, like the last outdoor games besides ones in recent memory that I remember was the ones that they played at Lake Tahoe for the Stadium Series a couple of years ago because the fucking ice melted.
Right. And that's what I was worried about when I heard the Florida things. I was like, that was the first thing that went to my brain was like, how are they going to do this in Florida?
It's going to have to be a night game.
It's going to have to be.
It's going to have to be a night game.
I mean, what's it going to go down to 60? I mean,
maybe low 50s depending on when you do it because it'd be in January. But
it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of BTWs pumping out there, boy.
Yeah,
shit. They're gonna BTUs pumping like a motherfucker that day. The electric bill is gonna be sky high for that game. Just trying to keep that ice cold. Yeah. Shit.
So
but
that's my.
It should be
that's my entertaining classic. It should be. It should be a good game. I hope.
Again, you're always Rangers. You're always gonna. It's again Rangers. You're always gonna get You're always gonna get the rating on it. You're always going to get a good rating on the Rangers being in anything because their fan base is so huge. And again, especially being in Florida, like I said, a lot of retired people in Florida, they'll go watch that game because it's their team that they, lived up here, most of their lives for. So like I said, you'll get a lot of Rangers fans. That's what that game is marketed to. It's marketed to the original six teams and the teams right now that are, really good, like your Floridas and like Tampa Bays and stuff like that. You know, there's gonna not be a lot of teams like in the middle or that are on the rise right now until these teams come up, and prove themselves as either cup contenders or Stanley Cup winners. You're really not going to get Winter Classic games that are going to be competitive because a lot of the original six teams are not competitive right now.
Yeah, but I feel like you don't even need to go. I know the original six is what's gonna draw,
Yes.
but I think you can find better ways of doing it. And I think that's the problem. It's getting to a point where it's not even just the hockey. It's the stuff that's happening around the game. Musical guests, broadcast
Yeah.
guests, everything. Chance the Rapper's cool. I used to like Chance the Rapper. I don't feel like listening to him at a fucking hockey game.
No.
Like bring out something else for Chicago. I understand you've done Fall Out Boy. I understand you've done stuff like that. Find something else. It's
I
the Winter Classic is a joke.
Then it's not like Chicago sports are at their brightest right now, where you
No.
can bring out like who's your big star really in Chicago right now? Caleb Williams, he was playing, but he was playing football. I mean, who are you gonna bring like celebrity wise? Hey, you know what? We go back to wrestling. Bring CM Punk out.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
He's a big Blackhawks fan. Where was he?
Yeah, where's Punk?
Why aren't they reaching out to him?
It's too easy. It's too easy.
But it's too easy sometimes. No, you're absolutely right. Too easy. And like I said, yeah, I was again, and the NHL with this stuff is trying to they're turning too fast into like trying to be like the NFL and the NBA where they need all these celebrities. Just put out a great game, great teams that the fans want to see, and they will come out in droves. I mean,
and you just advertise the game. You did not see any advertising for the Winter Classic.
No, except for
maybe a day or two before the event really happened. Like, I never saw anything for the Winter Classic. I've seen more for the Four Nations.
The most things you saw was on Amazon when you saw the road to the Winter Classic. That was probably the only advertisement they actually did that I
didn't even know that they were doing that until I happened to see it on the stupid video boards on the fucking broadcast. They happened to pull up that they were doing it. No sign of commercial anywhere. No sign of any kind of broadcasting. No sign of anything for it. So you're not even building up anything. Like, sure, cool, you brought back the Road to the Winter Classic series. It's not HBO 24/7. It's not the same as HBO 24/7. You tried it on YouTube when the Rangers and the Sabres were going to play in the Winter Classic at Citi Field. That was fine. It's not HBO 24/7. It's not the old Road to the Winter Classics between the Rangers and the Flyers.
Right.
The Penguins and whoever the fuck. Whatever.
Right.
It's not that. You're trying to go back to the old, but you're not even making it good enough to compare. I
agree. No, I totally agree with that. Like I said, and the best part was we're talking about advertising. Now I watched the game through Max because I don't have any cable or anything. We cut the cords and everything, so I had to watch it through the Max app on my TV. When I pulled up the Max app, it literally was the second thing on there I forgot, there was something brand new coming on Max that week. And they were ahead of actually the game. So when you're putting on your app that it's not even the first thing you see on your app, there's a problem right there. I mean, the advertising on your app that you're playing the game on isn't even advertising it as the front page on the day of the game. I mean...
Yeah, it should be everywhere.
They're totally going to say right there about the advertisement, the advertising for this game. They're
getting ready to, in about a month, do the Four Nations face-off. I've seen more advertising for that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that seems to be more of a bigger draw than anything for this league. And you're just doing that because the All-Star game sucks.
Right, exactly.
You ruin the All-Star game So you brought this over instead of just doing the World Cup of Hockey. And what? Now you're gonna get rid of gonna figure out what to do for the Winter Classic?
I don't count anything unless Russia's in it. That's not fair. Oh, sorry.
Unless who was in it?
Russia should be. No, I'm sorry. Russia should be in it. I don't care what kind of geopolitical thing you have.
It's
Russia
not.
should be
It's
in it.
not a political thing. It's from the doping scandal from a couple of years ago.
Oh, it.
That's still. They're still on that.
They didn't want them in there. Okay, well that's a different story.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that's not a political thing. That's from the doping thing from a couple of years ago. They suspended them indefinitely, and then they just made it worse.
Most of the players are in America now, so frig it, let them play. Especially for something like this, where it's like it's an exhibition. It's not. It's nothing. It's an exhibition.
Like it's not the Olympics, and even then, who cares?
It's not.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Man, who cares?
It's something that's not the All-Star game. That it's gonna be. It's gonna be the same thing as an All-Star game.
And
you think they're gonna actually, because it's gonna be nations? They think that Jack Hughes is gonna go check fucking Jesper Bratt to the boards when he needs them for a playoff run?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes, do it. Kill your opponents. I don't care if they're your teammates, your brothers, whatever. Kill them. Kill them. It's for it's for the country. It's for the country. It's for patriotism, man. It's for patriotism. You got to do it for the country.
You don't think there'll be discussions in locker rooms all around this country going, yeah,
kill each other.
A little bit.
This is hockey, man. This is the National Hockey League. Kill each other. This is the point.
Go kill each other. Go cost yourself a Stanley Cup. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Good marketing.
For the Four Nations face-off, man. For the Four Nations face-off, where they're getting ready to try to implement a new point system. It's gonna be a 3-2-1.
I told you about that years ago. I told you that years ago. Remember where that came from first? Like one of our couple first episodes back in the last year. I told you they were gonna try some shit like that, and now it's coming to you.
So there you go.
There you go.
But we haven't even talked about the Devils.
That's okay. It's been a lackluster week for the Devs anyway.
It's all right. Good. I mean, we talked about they're playing the Rangers tonight. They had an all right win against Seattle the other night.
They had a fantastic win against Seattle.
So it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
They needed. Well, again, we're coming off. It was coming off the couple games. I said the Kings game, terrible game. They just didn't come out. They played well in the first. They came out. You could tell the day two bug hit them. They were really lackluster going the second and third. I mean, they took their loss. They played a good game. They just didn't pull it out. The next game was, I think it was the San Jose game. I feel like San Jose just got our number. I don't know what it is. Just San Jose just has our number. We go back to, we were talking, and it's like, it's just one of those teams. And even when you're a good team, you just lose to that team. And I feel like the Ducks and friggin' the Sharks are those teams for us this year. Like they're bottom teams, but we just can't put it together against them this year. As we could tell, I think that we were 1-3 against them this year. And then, like I said, the Seattle game was a great game. Markstrom, again, saved our asses in this game. Markstrom, 3 of the most goal saves of the year candidates this year. I mean, the second one of the 3 was the one where I think it was Dylan slid across, had a perfect pass to, I think it was number 20 on Seattle, and just stone gloved them. I mean, they even showed on the TV footage that, the guy just looked like how did that not go in?
And so Shane Wright scored.
And Shane Wright scored again. We should have picked him. Someone when he slid down, he would have been a nice little solid piece right now instead of. But listen. Good solid win. They needed the win coming back home. They come back, settle back into the East Coast, play the Rangers tonight. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be a lot better game than it was, maybe like 2 weeks ago now.
I disagree because guess who's back in the lineup for the Rangers?
No. Don't tell me he's actually going to be there.
He better fucking not. He better fucking not. Igor's back too, apparently. He's able to play again. Well. So that's cool, I guess. But I'd rather Louis Domingue. I'd rather spicy pork and broccoli to come in.
Hey, I went through the Louis Domingue years a couple of years ago, so I know I know when it comes down, when I hear that guy's name.
He's a good
Oh,
he's a good
fantastic.
goalie. I like him.
He's Devil's legend, boy.
Oh,
Holy
Devil's
shit! Talk
legend,
about
Penn's
Devil's
legend
legend. Oh,
everywhere.
everywhere. He's a
Uh,
legend in his own mind.
One thing I want to mention because you had brought it up, the
Hmm.
season series between the Sharks and the Devils was 2 total games,
Hmm.
and the San Jose Sharks won both of them.
They won both of
It
them.
was that 1-0 stinker game by the
The weird,
Timo goal,
the Timo scored for the Sharks goal, and then
and
yes, and then the other day, the game the other day.
so yeah, the Devils really like Cody Ceci score an actual National Hockey League game-winning goal.
With 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
30 seconds left. Oh,
Shout out Alex Wenberg though. The Rangers could really use a guy like him.
wow. I don't know.
Gee, I wonder the
What
Rangers
that,
could use a guy like Alex Wenberg, a guy like Barclay Goodrow, and a guy like Jacob Trouba right about now.
when that's then wow, that sounds very familiar.
I know,
feel like
maybe
I've
a
heard that
Frank
name before.
Vetrano too. Maybe that would be
Oh,
cool. But he's 3 years, $18.5 million. Deferred money is a joke. You are not the Dodgers. He is not Shohei Ohtani. What are you deferring
nope.
money to? What are you deferring to the fact that you hope that you can do anything? It's Frank Vetrano. He's good, but
Poor
he's
Barry,
not that good. You're the Ducks.
poor Barry, Bobby Bonilla. He had his own day. Now everyone's just biting off his
Now it's
stuff. I mean,
everybody.
come on. Poor Bobby Bo, man. He was such a good player. He was so smart with his money, and now everyone just does it. It sucks. Poor.
Yeah, but
We can't.
think,
We
once
can't
it's not Bobby
celebrate
Bonilla
July
Day,
1st
it's going to be
anymore.
Rick DiPietro Day. And then when it's not Rick DiPietro Day anymore, it's going to be Juan Soto Day.
Exactly. So deferred. I mean, you can get away with it. Apparently, you do what you got to do. But
If it's one like one player, fine, sure. But if it's like the Dodgers, where it's almost every single guy that you're signing because you want to try to win now, no. Like something should be done about that. But
agreed.
with that, the Devils' upcoming schedule, besides tonight, you have 2 games at home against the Florida teams, Saturday and
Mhm.
Tuesday. Then you play the Leafs, Flyers, Sens, and yeah, those are pretty solid stretch of games for Devils fans to be able to watch. I mean, results
No,
may vary,
absolutely.
but those are pretty solid. I mean, Devils Leafs will be a fantastic game.
Oh yeah, especially
And
that time in Toronto too. That's going to be, make sure extra media coverage is there for Sheldon Keith coming back to Toronto.
that's
So
right. Oh
yeah,
yeah, baby. And that'll be next week when we talk to you. We can talk
that's,
more
yep.
about that.
Actually, yeah,
Um
if we record on Thursday, it will be on a Thursday. It will be Thursday right before the game.
Thursday, January 16th. We will see what happens. But gang, I will try to get some pictures and stuff to show you all next week of a little excursion that I'm going
Okay,
on
excellent.
Saturday
Excellent.
for little hockey stuff. So I will try to get some pictures and videos for that, and we can talk more about that next week. But I will leave you guys on that little bit of a cliffhanger.
Oh, we'll leave you on this too. Once a week, I need 30 seconds. Berkeley basketball 1-0, 6-4 win. That's a shout out to who's
Shout
watching
out
this.
to him,
So,
maybe.
shout out.
And
1-0.
it's going to
So,
be at the beginning of the episode too. I recorded a little thing to throw in.
oh, that's cool.
But
Okay.
now that I have Gunk here, I just want to say our hearts are with everybody in the Los Angeles area right now.
Oh,
It
absolutely,
is
yes.
truly devastating to see what is happening to
No,
all these people's
absolutely.
homes and livelihoods.
Yeah.
And we just really wish you all the best in trying to
Yeah.
get back into any semblance of normal life. We
No.
truly never wish to see this on anybody, and
No,
hope that
absolutely
it
not.
gets better very fast for everybody involved in the situations.
Yes.
It's shown itself across many different aspects of the world. Last night, the LA Kings and the Flames got, and the Calgary Flames,
Flames.
ironic,
Yeah.
got
Well, that was
postponed.
the weird stat last night was after that game got postponed. It was the game earlier this year that was canceled because of the hurricane versus the Hurricanes.
Yep, it was
So
Tampa
it was,
and the Hurricanes got
yeah,
canceled.
Tampa and the Hurricanes, yeah, was canceled for a hurricane. The Kings and Flames were canceled for the LA wildfires. which again I want to send out too. Like I said, I have a couple of relatives that live out in that area. That's from my wife's side, and we texted them last night. We made sure they were safe, so they're doing good. Okay, they're doing okay out there. So just want to shout out them too. With everyone else out in the LA area because like I said, it really is terrible. No matter where it happens at. It doesn't matter if it's LA, New York, San Francisco, Florida, middle of the country, wherever. We're all Americans, one nation. So let's give our hearts out to our fellow people out in the LACA.
Yes, I will try to find any kind of support links that I can. They will be in the description of this video, and I will
Absolutely.
I will have either Gunk or myself make a TikTok explaining everything
Yeah.
that you can do to try to help. We want to try to help the best we can. We know we don't have that much of an audience, but we want to try to
Right.
get the people that are watching to try to help the best they
Absolutely.
can. It would mean so
Absolutely.
much to us, so much to them, and we love any kind of effort you guys try to make in that regard.
Agreed.
But this has been another episode and another week of the What the Fuck podcast. I've been Nick. That's been Gunk. Gang, we love you. Let's go Rangers. Up there.
Let's go Devils.
We will
Peace.
talk to you about this game later. Peace, baby.
Peace.